AITA for refusing to listen to MIL's speech on my wedding? So I hate speeches. I never understood the appeal. I think they are boring, exhausting and very, very forced. But having said that, this is just my opinion and I never forced it on anyone. I have sat through long excoriating speeches without complaining like any other decent human being. When it was my turn to get married, however, I requested no speeches. We wrote that we loved everyone and that we knew they loved us, so if you want to say anything, say it to us directly, in private. My husband thought it was funny, but he knew my feelings about speeches. We had a small wedding with only loved ones. A weekend long. My husband loves games, so the wedding planner did a really great Taskmaster type of games and everyone appreciated it. Dinner came and Mill stood up and started by saying, "I know we are forbidden to make speeches by the bride, but this is my only son getting married, so I will do what I want to." I didn't hear the rest because I was seeing red. My sisters and bridesmaids were shocked. I pretended like she wasn't talking and continued my conversation with my girls. They did the same. Mill was furious. Both SILs were furious and my husband was very angry that it showed in his profile. He refused to look at me. The rest of the night was awkward. My husband's side sulking in their seats. I wanted to make sure it wasn't ruined for the rest of us, and we ended up having a blast. Next day I spent it with my family and friends. My husband said that I was very wrong in what I did. I couldn't force Mill to STFU and he knew she wouldn't no matter how much we told her. I shouldn't have disrespected and humiliated her like this. Our marriage started on the wrong foot, it seems. AITA. P.S. Mill loves making speeches. Sometimes 15 minutes long and not unusually mean speeches, disguised as humor that often isn't appreciated at all by the speaker. Well, that's unfortunate that the day you got married you found out your husband's always gonna pick his mom over you. Such disrespect from Mill. NTA. NTA. Your husband has no backbone, and worse, he didn't back you up. You have every right to have your wishes respected. Then your Mill had the audacity to call you out. You're going to have a heck of a time setting boundaries with that one. Good luck. NTA. Not only were you clear, but she acknowledged that it's forbidden. I wouldn't even look at her again after that. NTA. But Mill is definitely ta, as is anyone taking her side. Either follow the rules, or you don't go. You don't get to make your own rules at someone else's wedding. Esh. I absolutely hate being present for 2 hours having a pissing contest. I don't really care that you were rude to Mill. You were extremely rude to your H, who I'm sure was embarrassed, and your guests. In the future, the better way to handle it is to avoid making a public scene, and instead talk to your husband. Let him know you feel disrespected, and let him deal with his mom. Give him the chance to take your side. It's like I tell my 9-year-old. When she takes matters into her own hands and hits her little brother for doing something wrong, like breaking her stuff, I can't punish him because you already did. But now I'm upset with both of you because you both did something wrong. You're putting your husband in a similar position. Both his mom and his wife are behaving like children and he's in the middle with no way to fix it. Esh. She did the one thing you told her not to do. But it's not all about you. Your husband has a family of people as well, and you were rude to them. But then again, she was also rude to you, while acknowledging that she was blatantly ignoring your wishes. Yeah, everyone sucks here. Mill is entitled. I'll do what I want. And sucks a heck of a lot more. But everyone sucks. Esh. Your husband for not standing up to you during the wedding planning and saying that he wanted his mother to give a speech at his wedding, which imho is totally reasonable. Mill for crossing the boundary. You for being rude AF in front of everyone. If your Mill had done her speech and gone on and on and on while you silently let it happen, then everyone would understand why no speeches was a thing. She would have embarrassed herself. Everyone except Mill looks good then. But you were rude and disrespectful to your husband and made a little clique with your friends and family that will have a lasting effect on your relationships. Everyone talking about how you disrespected your Mill and scooped to her level. However, at the same time, if you did nothing, it was gonna show she can continue to go against your wishes. She found out what happens when she does. For that reason, I will go with NTA. A lifelong of being disrespected by your Mill is not what anyone wants. Your Mill refuses to show you respect at your wedding, so why should you? If she wants it, she got to earn it. She only get basic level and got to earn more. I would tell your husband you will apologize as long as his mom does too. You for being so blatantly rude and disrespectful to your Mill. Your Mill for disregarding your wishes. I totally feel you on the speeches, and we didn't allow speeches on our wedding day either. But I also don't think being rude and disrespectful was necessary. I get being upset, angry. But you could have handled it a lot differently. No one will remember the speech. But everyone will remember how you acted. You asked her not to do one thing and she did it anyway. But you were publicly super rude about it and have likely damaged any relationship you could have had with Mill in the future. Also, you clearly upset your husband, whose feelings should matter to you, on your wedding day, to him. NTA. At my best friend's wedding, she planned 2 speeches between her immediate family and his. It turned into 20 minutes of speeches, because they all felt it was important for them to make speeches without asking. By the way, which is why for our wedding, husband and I told the DJ, here's a list of the people who are supposed to make speeches. Anyone else tries to do whatever you need to. Turn the mic off, blast the music, push them off stage. IDC. As long as there were no extra speeches. Although, did your new hubby agree with the no speeches rule? If he didn't, I could see why he wouldn't stand up for you this time. If he did, then you may want to prioritize getting him a shiny new spine. I'd definitely have some long talks about him, choosing sides between you and Mill. This wasn't the hill to die on. I'm embarrassed for both of you ladies. Grimace. Info. When you noticed your husband was angry, did you continue talking to your bridesmaids? NTA. She acknowledged that she was breaking your wishes and she did it anyway. Perfect response. If she wanted so badly to make a speech, it should have been a discussion between you, your husband, and her beforehand. She did it publicly to try to strong-arm you so that you couldn't make a scene. This marriage is gonna suck if your husband doesn't get off his mom's tits. At the risk of down votes. Yes. You had a rule about speeches and Mill did not respect it. You had every right to be upset by that. But your response seems childish and an overreaction to what amounts to well wishes on you and your husband. Now you've essentially separated your family from your husband's family when it should have been a day of coming together. I don't know if I agree with everyone here. The husband had plenty of opportunity to say it if he didn't agree with the no speeches rule. The Mill acknowledged she was breaking the rule when she started speaking. So the options are: let the Mill start breaking boundaries on day 1 of marriage and be polite. Bride could call Mill rudeness out. Bride could have walked out. Bride ignored boundary violation and kept talking. New husband could have handled this in any fashion. Instead, he's decided to go with, my bride is rude because it's okay for my mom to ignore our request, but my bride must be polite. This seems like a bad start. I'm going with NTA. It was new husband's role to handle his mom. or disagree with the no speeches rule before the wedding. I think new husband is Ta. And also Mill. The bride chose a fairly non-confrontational way of not backing down. She just refused to let Mill control her behavior. There weren't a lot of good options here. NTA. Mill caused this problem. Whoever thought that you should have gone along with her disrespectful display is wrong. Husband is completely wrong in choosing to accept Mil's actions. The bride/groom set the agenda for the wedding and everyone else gets to enjoy it. Maybe you could have called for the band to play something and asked husband to dance. But, congratulations to you for saving the joy of the wedding and preserving your memories. How very immature on every side. That wedding must have been excruciating afterwards. Your Mill sucks for doing what you asked her not to. Your husband also messed up by totally taking his mother's side. You could have taken the high road instead of the low road. All around. Seems like the wedding had a bunch of people trying to please themselves and no one trying to please others. Yeah, it's your wedding day. But a wedding isn't about only one person. Her for not respecting a request and you for lacking in common courtesy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.